Hey folks, welcome back to another video here. This time we're going to take a look at the control panel on the LTV 1200 today. And we're going to start at the very top and work our way through, but I'm going to really show you some of the things I think are most important that you need to know as an emergency department nurse in taking care of the ventilated patient on the LTV. But let's just stop and orient ourselves on the monitor at the very top. And as you can see up here, it's going to say airway pressure, and you have this little highlighted bar that increases with each inspiration of the patient. And then it stops at a numerical value, which is at this time 30, which is just telling us that's our peak airway pressure. So that's what this continuous bar is going to show us here. Right down below it, we have a select panel, which I can push and it will select through to give me different parameters that are programmed into my ventilator. Right now, I'm going to quickly go through these, but I'm going to look at just below them and explain what these parameters are. But you can at any time push this select button and it will take you through your setup parameters for your ventilator. So let's take a look down below here at the settings we have in green. The first thing I'm going to show you here is, as we look at the bottom, this right here is what we call volume. So this is a volume-based mode for the patient. Right next to this highlighted is what's called assist control. So this is the mode that the patient is in right now, is in a volume control, assist control. And this is probably one of the most common modes you will see used in the emergency department. Now, if we go just above these, we'll notice some of our parameters. Starting on the far left, our breath rate, which on ventilator terminology is also sometimes called the frequency. As you can see, the breath rate is set for 14. The tidal volume, which is the amount of gas we're giving with each breath, is in milliliters, so there's 500 milliliters per breath that the patient is given. If you move over to the next one, you'll notice this light is a little bit dimmer than the one preceding it, and that's because it's not active. Only the bright lights are active, the dimmed out ones are not active. So this pressure control is not active in the volume control, assist control mode that we are in. If you move over one more spot, you'll notice this says inspiratory time. Inspiratory time just refers to how quickly that gas is being given, and it is measured in seconds. So in this case, the 500 milliliters is being delivered in 1 second. Continuing on over towards my right, you'll notice we have the pressure support, which again is dim, so it is not active in this mode. So we'll continue over to the next mode here, which is our percent of oxygen, or our FiO2. So at this point, just for demonstration purposes, I have it set to 21%, or room air. But if I wanted to increase that, I would simply hit the dial. Now it grays everything else out. I can increase that to whatever I desire. Let's say I want 100%. So I'll crank that up to 100. I will hit enter to save that. Now it's going to beep because I'm not actually hooked up to 100% oxygen. But if you needed to suction your patient, you would want to hook that up to 100% while you're suctioning, and then when you're done, you want to put it back down to where you were to begin with, in which case it was 21%. I save that, and now you'll notice all my other parameters become highlighted again. Sensitivity is not something we adjust very much. That's mostly the respiratory department. That is going to be to let our ventilator know when to deliver a breath. And then lastly, I want to come over here to my bottom right, and this is our PEEP. So you can see that it's set at 5 centimeters of water, which is a pretty standard PEEP level to start with. Lastly, I would like to go to this little red area here, which is our alarms. So when you have an alarm, it will either come up in the display up here, or will show you over here. Some of the default settings that I have here is a high pressure limit. So if it reaches this level of 40 centimeters of water, it will alarm. If it has a low pressure, such as if it becomes disconnected and it reaches a level at 10 centimeters or below, it will alarm. And then this one over here is just referring to our low minute volume. If we start to get volumes that are below 3 or less, when our target should be about 5 liters, then this will alarm as well. Lastly, next to the alarm section here is the silence button. which will cause a temporary silence of any alarms that are ongoing while you troubleshoot it. So again, that's just a quick overview of the vent surface anatomy, and we'll take a greater look at this come class time. Thanks for watching.